Hello everyone, welcome to General Orlando 327 plays Final Fantasy XIII, episode 42? 42, I think. Maybe 43? Whatever episode this is. It's the next one. So, we are in the Fault Warrens area of, I guess it's not even really Yasha's Massif. It's off of Yasha's Massif on Pulse. But we are about to do the Titans Trials. For those of you who are not familiar with what the Titans Trials are, they are a branching series of missions that you have to run. It's kind of like if you look at a tournament bracket, like the only ones that I know do it like this, but I think a lot of them do. But both basketball, both U.S. College basketball and pro basketball does brackets in a way that like you have a series of contenders basically, but in this case it's more of a tree like in game theory where it's branching decision trees. So you can set them up in either style, but it acts more like a branching decision tree. So each mission that you choose branches off into a couple of different choices. So the path that you choose determines which monsters you face. So in order to do the entire set of trials, we have to run through this area 22 times in order to get all of the final monsters. Each one, I'm sorry, you only have to do it 7 times. There are 22 possible paths. There are 22 possible paths, but you only have to run it 7 times to get every combination. Or every final monster. There are 7 final monsters to choose from.
Look! That's Titan!
Does a thing that size even eat?
You name it. He's a biogenitor. Chews up one species and spits out another.
Which is kind of a cool concept if you think about it.
It talks?
The struggles of the frail and feeble end in loss. Better your life waters quicken the seeds of new.
What's it saying? The weak don't even deserve to live?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, last I checked, we're not exactly weak, are we?
The whole concept of Titans Trials is basically a controlled survival of the fittest. If you can't pass through the trials, you get eaten up and become spit out as a different monster, or a different type of creature. So it's kind of a cool concept, throwing in biogenesis with the concept of survival of the fittest. I don't know, maybe I'm just strange like that, but I find it an interesting concept. So Titan's role is basically to prune the wildlife of Pulse and make sure that they're the most efficient and the best monsters or whatever creatures that are available. Alright, so the first mission we're going to have to run 7 times, because each time you fight the mark, you can see on the map here, you've got the star where the mark actually is, and then you have 2 inactive Seath stones, one beside it, one further up the path that we're on right now, and then of course the one that we came in on. So basically, each time you pick a Seath stone, you get moved to a new area of the path. And then you have to defeat the mark on that path and then choose one of the other Seath stones to move forward along the given path that you're on. So this one, we obviously, since it's the starting monster for all of them, we have to fight it 7 times. So the best way to do this, this one is actually a beast we've already fought. This was in one of the Tajin's Tower missions, so it's not that tough. And obviously at this point we are much higher powered than we used to be. So this is a cinch. We can actually just use, we have everything set up, I think. Yes. So we're going to use Smart Bomb for a couple of rounds, and then just straight into Try Disaster, just stagger it. It is theoretically possible to get a preemptive strike on this. It's very, very time consuming and not really worth the time. There we go, we got Imperil. That's the only one we cared about. Then we're going to go straight to Try Disaster, stagger it, and take it out. And this is one of those cases where it's really handy to have the fact that we have Saz as our primary saboteur at this point.
Be ready for the next
now that we've gotten all the debuffs he's going to get, and Fang as a secondary Ravager. Because if you look at our stats right now, so that's going to open up the 2 Seath Stones that I was talking about, and then we get to choose which one we want to move along the trials. But if we look at the stats that we have right now, Fang's magic stat right now is 1650, plus she has the strike skills, all the elemental strike. So she can actually use her strength stat to do elemental damage if the situation arises. Whereas Saz's highest stat is actually his strength, and even that's only an 1130. So we're better off even using Fang as a Ravager than we are to have Saz as our Ravager. So that's where it comes to the point where Saz is a great to stick in a single role, like a support role of some sort, but he's not a great primary character to use to build paradigms around for the most part. So we're gonna do the left hand one first. So basically, there's almost all of these there's gonna be a left and a right option for the continuing path. So we're basically gonna go from left to all the way to the right hand path. So that's the other reason it lends itself. Well, there's the brackets that it gives you. So it's not quite like a tournament bracket. It is more like a decision tree in game theory, where you have a single decision leading to another decision leading to another decision, and based on which decisions you make, tells you which branch of the tree you're going on. It's actually a much better comparison than a tournament bracket. I may have to change my guide, except for the fact that people understand tournament brackets better than they understand decision trees. See, it's just my inner economist kicking in. Decision trees are so elegant. And some of these areas have treasure spheres in them that we're going to end up getting along the way. Alright, so we're going to ignore the side paths for the moment. And then we're going to take this one and backtrack. With Saz as our... I don't think that's really going to be worth doing, but we'll see what happens. They're weak against fire, but we haven't fought Borg Bears before, and so therefore, without liberating it, which I'm going to do because I don't care, but it's not like I can't buy Aethersalt. Actually, this Hulk might be the one that I can't. You know, there we go. Now he's casting in fire like I want him to do. That's what I wanted to see. Go Saz. Yeah, we do want to be in a physical damage paradigm because of the fact that they are they have any magic damage. So this works out well. So then we'll just switch to Starburst and finish it now that we all have in fire. And the reason that I like to use Saz as my third party member is because of another economic theory, opportunity cost. if I were to use somebody else, it would force them to be less efficient than they could otherwise be in the party. So by putting Saz in, I am losing the least of efficiency for my party members. So we got gold dust here. As we can see, there's another bouncing sphere over there. So we're gonna hop down and go to the other side and up. And that's going to give us a Star Blossom Seed. Now, both of those things are for the strict purposes of selling. There is no other usefulness to those. So I think I made a mistake. No, we're good. Okay. Alright, and then our actual mission battle is here. And we fought these recently as well. We're going to... These are similar to the doggies that are near Tajin Tower. These aren't the same ones, but they're similar. But we've just fought them recently as well. I can't remember which, but they do all of these debuffs and such. Unfortunately, including both Pain and Fog, which is kind of a nuisance. But if I were smart, I would switch Saz to a medic. Yeah, but those were fairly awkward. But the more important one is that they do Curse, and then I think they have a follow-up attack that like does more damage to Curse enemies. Although that, I actually think that's in sort of cute now that I think about it. They just have the Storm Conduction that heals them. I want to kill this one before I switch to it. Of course, the downside to using Saz as a medic is that he doesn't have the cure-all spells. He has Cura, but not Curaja, which is kind of a pain. But could be a whole lot worse. I actually probably should make sure... Oh no, he doesn't have... I can't remember if I have a Morale Talisman or a Blessed Talisman on him. So I have Aurora Scarf, Sprint Shoes, Growth Egg, and I can't remember what the fourth thing that I have on him is. If it's a Morale Talisman, I should probably switch it to a Blessed Talisman just so he has faith for healing and sabotage purposes. Yeah, it's a Blessed Talisman. Okay, I've got it right. Good. Alright, so this time, if we look at the map, again, we have a left and a right option, so we're going to go all the way to the left before we... So we're going to skip the first one, in other words. There's nothing up top here that's worth getting. Am I right? I am right? Now I'm second guessing my own guide. Yeah, no, I'm right. Alright, so we're going to skip this one and move on to this one. Like I said, we're taking the far left-hand path and then moving our way to the far right-hand path. Or in this case, the decision tree is the top path, but it's visualized as the left-hand path on here. This is probably my favorite one to fight of the trials. Unfortunately, this is the only time we're going to do it because... actually, we might do it one more time, I'm not sure. Look! They're little imp guys! So we're just going to set up in Cerberus. Taru football! Oh, wait. That's the wrong FF, isn't it? My bad. Just ignore that. Okay, then our actual... Oh, that was the Mark fight. That's right. Forgot that was actually the Mark fight. And then we do need to go this way once to get the treasure sphere down here, except we don't want Cerberus for that. I mean, we do, but we're gonna buff first with fire. And apparently protect. Actually, that's not a bad idea with these. I mean, they're not gonna. Two of them are just gonna do enough to care. Unfortunately, he also uses vigilance because these guys do interrupt your attacks. So, but it's not strictly necessary to do that much. But the time that you don't do it is going to be the time that you keep getting interrupted every time you go to make an attack. So, whatevs.
Hardly worth the effort.
I was trying to avoid it getting away from me by doing my attack early, but didn't work. Alright, so we get the Zealot's armlet here. I honestly don't remember what that does. Which shows you how many times I use it. Vigilance. Oh, yeah. I actually think we already have a better version of that. Or maybe we already got, like, another version. Let's see. Armlets. No, I guess we don't, but whatever. Makes sense. It's not one we're going to use. Why would you want it to cast Vigilance when your HP is low? I mean, I suppose on a medic, but even then, meh. By the way, if you ever get into one of these and decide you don't want to finish the run, you can always go back to the one that you came in on, and it will teleport you back to the very beginning of the trials. So, like, if you take a wrong turn or something. On the other hand, it's pretty easy to farm everything in here at this point. If you're doing these trials, again, we're going to take the left-hand path here. If you're going to do these trials, then you're already capable of farming everything in here. Alright, so our next mission is going to be fighting a Tonberry, which we've already done. This is where we start getting some interesting marks. It's about this point in every path. So, we also have this optional battle. Another Oku. It's not as bad as the one we already did. The Nyoku and Micro Shoes? Can't remember if they were Pico or Micro that are in the other mark battle that we did for our growth egg. I actually do think we need to... Yeah, okay. No, we're good. We're good. Alright, we're actually going to bypass it first because there's a shortcut here that we can go past and around, which will allow us to get this. They actually are not technically guarding this sphere. If you can get past them without getting hit, you can pick up this sphere. So you don't have to fight these guys. Get a warding talisman on it, which again, we don't need. You actually can't get a preemptive strike. Even though I just got a preemptive strike, it's not a preemptive strike. Because the if you Libra the Ochu, it tells you that it never allows itself to be caught by preemptive strike. So it doesn't matter even if you hit the other enemies that have not seen you, it still can't get a preemptive strike. Just FYI. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll focus on the Oku. We've already got fire on us. And then we also do want to go ahead and get, hopefully he'll do Veil. I hope he gets Veil. Otherwise I'm wasting time for nothing. If we don't do it, we'll do it. Yeah, I think all we really need is fire, because I don't think he's going to do Veil until the very end, which is really annoying, but... Obviously, this guy's not using his status attacks anyway, so... Okay, he doesn't even have Veil, apparently. I can never remember if he gets Veil or not. At this point, we don't know. Usually I would switch to Smart Bomb. Now that I know this, the next time we do this fight, because we will do this fight multiple times, or equivalent versions of it. Normally when I do this fight, I just get Fire and then switch over to Smart Bomb to debilitate the Yoku as quickly as possible and take that out, and then just Cerberus the rest of it. Alright, so that's that one. And again, that was not actually the mark. The mark is over here by the Seath Stone that we're actually going to use to continue on. I do need to do a couple of things here. First, we need to swap this one out, and then we need to do the same thing here to make that one Variety. I can't remember what she has at this point that Saz doesn't. Maybe Imperil? No, Saz has Imperil. It's been a while since I had to actually care about this. Let's see. Oh, you know why? It's the Gus skills, because Saz does not have any of the Gus skills, and we want them. Yeah. Because we're not fighting one Tomberry, we're fighting 3. If we're really lucky, we'll get one of the Tomberry figurine drops. I mean, we will get one. We get one from completing this mission anyway, but... the reason we don't use the synergists in this fight is, in case you hadn't noticed, they dispel your debuffs with every knife attack. We're going to switch to this now. Try to kill this one as quickly as possible. Now that it's got 3 debuffs on it. That's the only ones I can... Oh wow, I can actually do more than that. And we're going to need this anyway.
Stay down.
Except that does that. That's a problem. I screwed that up again. Ah, that's right. I can daze them. I forgot about that. I think daze resets their grudge counter. I can't remember. I didn't need to cast the shell that many times. But whatever. Daze. Let's go. No, don't attack it. Please don't attack it. Oh, ram it. This. That was probably a bad plan. I think I just reset all of them. Yeah, I did. That's not at all what I wanted. It's been a while since I've had to do this fight. I don't remember how to do this. Ow, 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 ow. Now I have fog on me too. Cool. That's wonderful. See, I did this completely wrong.
Eat this! Change of plans!
Oh. What? Really? Interrupt my renew? Oh, yeah. Let's do this right, shall we? Yeah. I So what you want to do is do this manually, because otherwise you get exactly what just happened and it's so inefficient it's not funny. Alright, so you're going to do deprotect, deshell, and then imperil until they stick. There we go, and then try disaster it up to stagger. Oh, there we go. Alright, then he switched variety to heal up to do the same thing. Deprotect. Deshell. And imperil. Go. Try disaster. And then hopefully we won't have to heal for the last one. Or if we do, we might be able to just make use of Now, we'll go ahead and use variety just to make it easy on ourselves. Let's see if I can make it work this way. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There we go, and then all I have to do is protect. Should only need 3 shots, and it should. There we go. There we are. Unfortunately, we're getting everyone's grudge here. Oh no, it's DC the last one. Now, if I wanted to be really tricksy with this to try to avoid a grudge attack, which we did anyway by killing it, but it was about to use the deep-seated grudge, which is the one that like levels you, your entire party. If you want to be really tricksy with it, when you get down to the last one, if he uses imminent grudge, then try to spam daze on him. If you can get daze to stick, it resets the grudge counter. So there's a chocobo plume. We didn't get what we were really hoping for, which was not a doctor's code. You actually get 3 Doctor's Codes in the game? Well, that's interesting. How, I thought you got a Tomberry figurine from that. The other thing that you can do is, so there are 3 ways to handle the imminent grudge coming into a deep-seated grudge. So you can do the daze trick if you're really lucky. You can also, when you get to the last one, because if you're doing it with that method, as you can see, they're not going to get to deep-seated grudge until close to the end of the battle. So you can use the last time you can add slow to the Tomberry, which will slow down between imminent grudge and deep-seated grudge. And then if you're still on the edge, you can you can drop into strike team just long enough to have Saz rebuff with haste, and then go back to try disaster and finish it. That also helps to stabilize the chain gauge a little bit. And then the third tactic you can use is when you think he's about to use it, because as you see, he did some knife attacks in between, and I think there's a specific number that he does in between each stage of grudge. So if you get close, if you're having enough trouble that you have to repeat this a few times, you'll probably get a clue based on time frame. You can pop Bahamut right before he uses it, and that's going to mitigate a lot of the effects of his actual attack. And then, you'll be back to full health as soon as Bahamut goes away anyway. So the secondary reward from this mission is actually a Tomberry figurine, which we need to get just for the sake of having one for there's a achievement for this game or a trophy. A trophy for getting all of the items in the game, synthesizing all of the items in the game once. So if you didn't get it from grinding at the Tomberry mission earlier, if you chose to do that, which I didn't, because like I said, I've gone hours and hours and not gotten a single Tomberry figurine drop. So But you can get a guaranteed one here just by running this path again. To that point, you wouldn't even have to necessarily continue if you didn't want to. Alright, so this is our first culmination battle that's decided by what path you take. This is when you have to take the left path all the way down in order to get this one. Unfortunately, it's also the same monster, the same Neoku that we fought when we got our growth egg. So, not a fun fight. So what we're going to do is... The good news is he doesn't have the smaller ones to interrupt you every 3 seconds. And we're a lot stronger. What we're actually going to do, what we used last time was Vanille's death approach. This time we're going to use the random instant chain that Saz has. So we're going to swap Saz into our main party role because he's the one that needs to do his cold blood ability in order to get this to work. And the nice part about the final battle on these trials, on each path of these trials, is that there's a save point right here. So if you need to shop and upgrade, you can do that. If you need a break before you actually do the fight, you can save and walk away. You can do just about anything here that you need to do, except if you go back, then it's going to reset the path. That's the only thing you can't do, is leave this area. So what we're going to do is we need to go into... Who sells those? Moolorgs. To buy, we need 2 more speed sashes. I mentioned this if you watched the upgrading video in chapter 12 a couple weeks ago. I mentioned this little trick, but I didn't buy the speed sashes because I knew I was going to do it here. So we need those, and I think that's all we need. Yeah, we don't need to actually change our party out or anything. This is going to do what we want it to do. So what we need to do is give him the 3 speed sashes. And then I usually leave the growth egg on him. Actually, do I use the growth egg or do I use... No, I don't. I actually use... Oh, you know what? Wait. Something's not right here. Anyways, to change. Oh, no, because I think actually the Aurora Scarf and Sprint Shoes do the same thing, don't they? Yes, they do. The Aurora Scarf and Sprint Shoes are in the same class. So we can do that. He's going to get the... Wait. The Aurora Scarf does it, but the Sprint Shoes don't? Let me try to remember this. And yeah, so the Aurora Scarf is part of that combo, but the Speed Sashes are... No, that's still not right. Why is it... Speed Sash? 1, 2... Odd. That's very strange. I'm not real sure why I do this that way, to tell you the truth. Is the ATB? Oh, yeah, it also does ATB rate. That's not it either. Huh. Because the max you can get for Gestalt is 3. So... Why? 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 I don't know. I'm gonna have to adjust this because that's obviously wrong. Alright. So yeah. So what we want is basically the Speed Sash in place of Sprint Shoes of the talisman on each character. So we want the morale talismans on both Fang and Lightning, and then the growth egg on Saz is perfectly fine. It doesn't matter at that point. I'm gonna have to change my guide because I apparently didn't do that right. The reason I wonder if when I wrote it, I think I did. I think I was using a different primary weapon. I think I actually went off of the Procyon instead of... Or the Spike Defenders. I went off of one of those instead of the Antares Deluxes. Alright, well, now that I made a complete fool of myself, let's move on. So the important part of this is that random instant stagger thing, and that each character has it equipped, because that means that each attack that we make is going to have the possibility of immediately putting it into a stagger. And that's the goal that we're after here. The other thing we need to do is set up you as that. The other thing is let's switch this back the way I actually want it. There we go. Alright, just so I have that back in place. For whatever reason, even though Lightning's Army of One has more attacks, the way that it counts them is different. The probability of Saz connecting on a random instant stagger with Cold Blood is actually better than Fang's or than Lightning's Army of One. So that's why we use Saz instead of Fang, or Saz instead of Lightning. Alright, so here goes. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna spam cold blood.
These fireworks.
And chances are we're gonna die a few times. Until this actually sticks.
Switch on these fireworks.
Not what I wanted. Rats.
Switch on these fireworks.
Yeah.
Lux, finally run out.
It's the rust. I blame the rust. Too much Warframe lately. I may try to change some. What am I doing?
Almost feel sorry for you.
I may try to
Almost feel
stream
sorry.
some Warframe some of these days. Why not? Problem is, I'm not really that good at it.
Almost feel sorry for you.
Dagger. I don't think one more would be enough. I could try. Huh. I'm gonna try something real quick. Couple of ways I could do this. If I did, that's not helpful. Wait, why do I? You don't have random instant chain. Why not? What the heck? So I have to have 5 things in order to do that? Strike. Auto haste. There's no reason for me to have. I don't actually want the Doctor's Code. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. Kill ATP charge. Why do I have? This strategy doesn't make any sense. Hang on. You have random instant chain. You have random instant chain. Why don't you have random instant chain? You have. Speed sash, sprint shoes, Aurora scarf. How did they have it and he doesn't? Something's wrong with this picture. Alright, I need to buy another speed sash, obviously. I'm losing my mind. No wonder that wasn't working very well. I'm really confused at the moment. There it is! And I didn't even get the attack off. Not what I wanted. Not at all what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Thank you. As soon as you stagger it, just go to Cerberus and, you know, it'll be dead. But... Also not clear on why they weren't launching it again. Whatever. Alright. So that's that one, and we never have to do it again. Well, not that fight anyway. We will use this strategy for one other thing, but and maybe I'll figure out why it's not working properly. If I could type that, I think it's interesting too. I'm really confused at the moment. Alright, so now we finished that, and what that new trial now awaits you thing is telling you that there are paths you haven't completed, basically. Really all you care about are the E rank battles on the right hand side. Those are how it counts paths, are each one of those battles. So it's not, like I say, you don't have to go through it 21 times. There are 21 routes you could take, but there are only 7 final battles. Alright, and now we're back to where we started, so we can do the first mission again. Let's switch things back here. Try disaster. Set up smart bomb. Change team members. Boom. Oh, okay. Yeah, kind of important. Choose. Although, yeah, no, we definitely want the Blessed Talisman. Okay. Blessed Talisman. Morale Bank, or Morale Talisman, and Growth Egg. There. Huh. So strange. Why? Huh. Hello. That's gonna puzzle me for a while, though. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna go. The first two parts of the path are gonna be the same. Do this one. Well, actually, 3 if you count this as the first part of the path, but that's a requirement of all of them. First 2 missions are gonna be the same. Did I do this? No. Cool. Alright.
Such a rush!
Don't feel like waiting for all those things or debuffs to wear off, so we're gonna do this. It'll slow us down a little bit, but so you saw something interesting happen there. You saw him get hit with slow, but then when he did storm conduction, it got removed. So the storm conduction actually removes debuffs on them. However, you know, by doing it this way, they're going to waste time with storm conduction even when they don't need to. So that's less time to their negative. They'll use it just as a dispel effect, even when they don't necessarily need to be healed. So they're going to spend more time doing that than they are going to be attacking you. Technically, you get hit by storm conduction if you're close to it, but they're not doing their status debuffs to you. Hey, there's only 2 debuffs. I think 3 debuffs.
And I was
I
just getting started.
doing debuffs there for a second. Oh, he probably was doing debuffs and it just got immediately dispelled. That would do it. Alright, so the next one we're going to do after doing those first 2 is we're going to do the one that we haven't done yet. This time our mark is an Oku with 2 of the micro chews. Whatever. I don't know whether it's Oku or Ochu. I don't really care. No. Not that. Thank you. Because we want to buff with fire again. As always. Focus our attacks on the big guy. We're getting buff. And then the smart bomb. After you use the Siege Dispersal, you've got a lot more little threats. And it's up to you. You could switch to Cerberus to try to do a little bit of damage to it. Or you can just keep your pressure on the big guy so that he doesn't cast more debuffs and do a lot of damage. I tend to prefer to try to kill the Oku first and then worry about healing and killing the little guys. Because now I can switch to Tireless Charge and heal up. And this is one of my favorite missions to farm in this area if I can get it, because you have a chance of getting Moon Blossom and Star Blossom seeds, and then you're gonna get an automatic 2 Moon Blossom seeds every time as a secondary reward. You don't get it the first time because the primary reward is that Siltstone ring, which we are going to need when we fight Adamant Tortoises, because it blocks earth damage, or once we upgrade it. Okay, and then alright, and then coming from this direction, we're gonna get a different mission. Let's see. So if we do this marker, so now we're on the inside path. So we're on the left-hand inside path. So we go to D2 instead of D1 for a different mission. Okay, one thing we're going to do now is switch your Morale Talisman for a Blessed Talisman. And then we're going to switch to not what I wanted. Cerberus. Alright, if we turn left here, the mark is way down on the right hand side. But before we do that, anytime we come through this area, we want to go this direction because we have some cactuars over here, but these are not just regular cactuars, they're flowering cactuars. And they give us 7,500 CP without the growth egg, which means they're going to give us 1,500 if we can kill any of them before they growth egg, which is all they do. But if you can get one staggered, it won't make the escape, and you're going to get 15,000 CP. And also, I think there's a chance to drop something interesting. I can't remember. I don't remember if they have a rare drop of Cactuar dolls. They might. So the first one you're not going to get a whole lot of. Just a lot off of, just from the fact that you don't have it Libra'd and you don't want to take the time to do it because that just wastes a turn that you could be killing them. So now we're going to actually go do the actual mark here. Well, actually I don't think we'll get to them. There's going to be a battle first before that one. Yeah. Here. Wait a second. Wait a second. We're gonna head back to that one, right? No, we aren't. No, we aren't. Yeah, we are. Okay, we're gonna go. I'm lost. Yeah, we're gonna come back this way because there's another Cactuar battle down at the end of that, but we're gonna come back to that Sea Stone anyway, so we don't care. More Borg bears. start to get a little bit more dangerous with 3 Borg bears because it is actually possible if they gang up on you that they will like knock out somebody pretty quickly. It's not gonna be all that likely.
And I was just getting started.
If you want to be a little bit more time efficient in these regular Borg bear battles, you can switch Saz out to be your party leader and just manually cast and fire on everybody and skip the attack vigilance.
Don't get predictable.
Alright, finally we get to the Mark battle, which is a bunch of Borg bears and a Borg bear hero. And as always, we need to take the big guy out first, because otherwise one of the other ones is just going to rise to become a Borg bear hero afterwards. I don't know if I can do it. It'll still pass. Desire, even though we haven't actually looked at this guy. And then we're going to go to Smart Bomb. You know, I'm doing this exactly backwards, aren't I? I really am. I'm doing this exactly backwards. You don't want to do the big one first. My brain is apparently not in pro form tonight. Alright. So now that it's just the hero, we can use the old Serenity line that hero is just somebody who gets other people killed. Alright, so there we are. There's nothing past it, is there? No. Okay. Good. Just want to make sure. Alright, so now we're going to go all the way back to the other end. Switch back to Cerberus on the way. Oh, crud. I forgot about that. This other Seed Stone triggers or something else. Can't remember how that was. That might be the final Seed Stone. I've actually forgotten how to trigger that one. We did actually want to kill these guys while we were down here, and I forgot. Alright. Everything set up properly. Forgotten how that Seed Stone. I think that's the final Seed Stone. If you, that's the final Seed Stone if you use this path as your final path. Now we should be able to kill a couple of these before they run away. I think we got 3 of them. 4 of them. We got all 4 of them. Nice. Chocobo tail feathers, those are worthless. Alright, so now our mark is another Zernitra, which we fought recently as well. And remember what we do with this one is use lightning as our sentinel. Which means we don't need either the Blessed Talisman or the Morale Talisman. What we need is... actually, I think it's on the top here. We need... the... where am I... there you go. I need a metal armband for Deep Protect, and I need... Tabletop boots. There they are. Alright, so there we go. And then we need to reset our paradigms to put this back. And we don't need set B hardly at all here. There we go. Alright. Premeditation is going to be our default. So basically, Saz's job here is to countercast any debuffs. Although he wastes time casting haste on lightning, which is annoying, because I don't ever want my sentinel to have haste. It's just not worthwhile. So, come on, Bang. Give me a break here. Love how when you cast haste on an enemy, or there are certain enemies that cast haste on you and it does like basically nothing. But, can I please? Can I please? We're good at the moment, so we're gonna do this.
Change of plans.
The thing you have to watch out for is lightning getting Key Protect stuck on her. Because if that happens, because the next attack will always be Feeding Stoop, and if she has Deep Protect and actually gets hit by Feeding Stoop and doesn't manage to evade it, it's nasty. Could very potentially kill her. There we go. But hey, once you get it staggered, it's already over. The nice thing about being staggered is that it basically will never get off another Feeding Stoop, because every attack will interrupt that attack. There we go. With capped out damage and everything. I actually stayed in premeditation longer than I needed to for that battle. Alright, so one of the rewards for that fight is Gilgamesh, or the primary reward for that fight actually is the Gilgamesh shop, which I think we'll use that when we get to the next set of the next culmination of the path. So for now, it's not worth walking down to the thingy. Okay, so the next path that we need to do will end up, you can get it from, it's every mission up to the final mission that we did. So you can take the same path, or you can cross back into, the left-hand path and then back to the right-hand side, or back to the interior path. And it really kind of depends on whether you want CP or Gil. Personally, I always go for Gil because we're gonna end up with so much CP that we're gonna finish off this Crystarium tier and then get back up to 999,999 and still be in need of Gil once we start farming adamant tortoises. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and spend up here for a second. Just to see where I'm at, but I'm pretty much always going to take the Gil option. Yeah. See, this is because I didn't do any grinding with the Tomberries this time around. Normally you would have at least 3 or 4 rolls maxed out at this point. So we're actually going to be a little bit weaker than I normally am at this stage of the game, but it's not at all. Because by the time before we do any of the like this really serious final missions, we're gonna have our top tier weapons maxed out. So. In fact, I actually think that's the next thing is just setting up our weapons. There are no skills there. Actually, there are no skills in any of the remainder of his roles, so I guess it's a matter of which ones do I want to max out. Probably use him as a commando more often than I use him as a Ravager. Synergist is useful. The level crystals for Synergist are useful because it extends the duration of buffs, but most of the time I'm either going to have to reapply them anyway, or either going to have to reapply them because they need to be reapplied, or the battle's going to be over. So that little bit of extra duration isn't going to make a huge amount of difference. And we're going to get that roll crystal eventually anyway, so. I actually like to give Hope the Sentinel roll crystals before he gets the Commando roll crystals because of the extra HP nodes in Sentinel. Oh yeah, I was finishing medic for him. I think this is Ruinga. Yeah, we actually want to get her. We actually need to get her commando roll finished before we do Sentinel, only because of Ruinga, which I think we actually are going to use for. I don't know if we do use Ruinga. I think there's actually a mission that I want her to have Ruinga on. Can't remember which strategy I ultimately came down to on those missions. I gotta reset all of these. That's not it. That one's fine. Ravager. Commando. More pop. Oh, I didn't change the equipment, did I? Yeah. Lightning doesn't have bravery and faith, but whatever. I'm being very inefficient in this, and it's really actually bothering me. It's really a mixed bag whether you want to switch to Try Disaster or not for that fight. That time I didn't even bother to switch to Try Disaster, and I had the exact same battle duration as the last time that I used Try Disaster, so 6-1 I'm picking. Now the other thing I need to check is how many bombshells I have. 30. Okay, we're good. Because we don't want to max out our bombshells and then have wasted money. But we're okay. No, wrong. Another one of those cases where if I wanted to try to be efficient, I could use the spell gun. Apparently that strategy isn't really going to work with me very well anyway. Right? Great timing there, Hank.
That's how it's done.
Alright, so this is where we have the choice of which direction we want to go. And I misspoke earlier. Actually, your choice is between simplicity and CP slash money. So if you take the path that we just took previously, the last one that we did, you're going to be fighting that Oku again. On the other hand, you can go the other direction and fight those the imp type creatures, the Airman and or Adroa and Vertilets. But that's, I mean, you can do that quickly, but you're going to get, this way you're going to get almost 3 times the CP, and potentially you're going to get an automatic 12,000 gil in the 2 Moon Blossom seeds. They have rare drops of Sun Petal and Gloomstalk, which is 1,000 gil each. And then the other mission only gives you 5 bombshells, which is a total of like 3,000 gil. So, or some usefulness in crafting. But this is the better fight to do. Almost hands down, unless you're just trying to get through this as quickly and easily as possible, which I can understand that too. Hi. Hi, good. Big guy. Deck wouldn't be horrible, but you know.
Just another battle.
Alright, so we got one Gloomstalk, so that's 1,000 gil there. And we got our 2 Moonblossom Seeds, which is another 12,000, which is guaranteed every time you run that mission. So, alright, so now instead of going... Wait, no, we still have to do... Yeah, we still have to do the other one. And the Cerberus. And then this is where you're going to get all the extra... No, actually it's the same. Because you would have to come back if you take, if you do the other mission rather than the Oku, you have to take the right-hand Seed Stone to get back to this mission anyway. So... Really? He's an inch for that. Boom! So we got 2 of them. And then keep going to get the other set. Oh, there are 5 here. Okay, so we got 4 out of 5 last time. All right. It's actually easier to get more of them here because of the fact that they're all clumped together. Somebody else attack, please.
And I was just getting started.
There we go. And then we have to go back down the other way to be... Which is the part of this section that I just get annoyed at because the board pairs are just no point fighting at this point. In fact, if I can bypass them, I don't mind. This is one of those fights that you kind of want to wait until your ATB gauge is almost full before you tell it to target an enemy because then it will be the most efficient action as you're taking the attack rather than setting up blitzes too early. And then having to hit nothing.
Don't get predictable.
Like even there, it was the other one moved fast enough that it wasn't worth doing a blitz.
That's how it's done.
I still haven't changed Lightning's equipment back.
Don't get predictable.
That's because I'm looking for the wrong things. I was looking for the Aurora Scarf and Sprint shoes. No, those were still equipped. Yeah, well, that was thank you. Ow. Hope so I don't hit my head on the wall behind me. Alright, let's do this right this time. Don't target the big guy first. I do want vigilance on for this. Tech's not so necessary. I really wish that you would do vigilance first, but not that vigilance appeared to help me all that much, but whatever. So, take out the light. Haha, you missed me. I pulled your trick. Bye-bye.
Hardly worth the effort.
Now we're getting some real components, some bomb cores. All right, so this time we're going to take the closer Seath Stone. And we're gonna fight my least favorite enemy in the game. So this enemy is basically the souped up version of the Vitalas that we were fighting primarily in Erba, but in a couple other places as well. And I hate them. I hate them with a passion. Really, really hate them. Have you figured out? I hate them. We need to do some upgrading before we do this. Let's see. We need... We're going to go in and we're going to... Well, that's not actually what I meant to do. Don't need to do that. I mean, probably should, but, you know, I'm not gonna. Alright, so Gilgamesh, just so you see what this is. This has the higher level weapons for everybody. Actually, it's the unique weapons for everybody. The ones that you get late in the game that have weird abilities. Like we haven't even picked up their final ones, the Lead Strike ones. Lead Strike and or Paper Tiger. Basically, they all have a major drawback to them of some sort. They have high stats, but they have major drawback until the final tier, and then usually they have the uncapped damage abilities in their final tier that just make them like the most powerful weapons in the game. What we actually need are we're probably going to need some of these. So let's first sell off some of the stuff that we've gotten that we don't need. So we've gotten these 2 Moon Blossom Seeds, so there's 12,000. And that Gloom Stock that we got. Again, any creature components other than Barbtails, Vibrant Oozes, one of those claws. Sturdy Bone, Barbtail, Vibrant Ooze, and the bomb components you can sell off. You can actually sell off quite a few of the bomb components too, because we're going to get more. We can always farm them quickly if we needed to. That Sun Blossom Seed was another, however much money that was. A lot, relatively. Relative to anything else that we're going to sell. Except for the gold, the platinum. Like gold dust. 2 gold dusts, that's 30,000 gil right there. Gold nuggets are 30,000 apiece. Platinum ingots are a lot. 50,000 I think. So that's all we want to sell off. Again, any of these perfect conductors, particle accelerators, ultra compact reactors, don't sell them. And same thing with the ores. We'll probably be able to actually get rid of some of these perovskites and scarlatites at some point, but not right now. Okay, and then we need our usual Sturdy Bones, Barbtail, Vibrant Oozes. Okay, and then I think we have all of the actual equipment pieces that we need. Let me just see here. So the first thing we need to do are, we have 1 witch's bracelet, I think. Let's just sort this real quick. Witch's bracelets. Oh, we have 3 witch's bracelets. So these are resist magic, which if you remember the Vitalas, that's all they do is cast magic. And these have the highest level magic. They have all of the Agas, including the status effect Guz. So it's nasty. So we need how many witches bracelets? So we need 6 witches bracelets. So I need to make 3 more, which means we need to upgrade our rune bracelets first. No. so our usual 36 to get the 200 XP boost, and then we need something that I apparently sold. Apparently I wasn't quite ready to sell off my superconductors, and I did. That's annoying. Hang on a second here. Actually, I might have used all of my superconductors. I don't think I sold them all. So we need 21 times 3 is 63. So we need 63 superconductors to do all of these. No, I could just do this the easy way. There we go. Thank you. 63 superconductors. So there goes 53,000 of our gil already. That's most of what we just traded in. It's not quite all that we just traded in, but it's pretty close. Yep, thank you. I may as well do the rest of these while I'm at it. Okay, so we need 2 superconductors for this part of it. And then we need one of our 3 Uraninites to turn it into a Witch's Bracelet. And this one starts out at level 4, so you can't use the same formula that I'm using here on these Witch's Bracelets as on the ones that you already have, because it won't get you the full amount. So what we need to do for the ones that's already partially upgraded is our next 36. 6, there we go. And then we need the other 19 of these. Boom. And there's our resist magic plus 25%. So we're going to do the same thing for these. We need 2. Thank you. 2 first. Uraninite. Creature components. And 19 superconductors. Alright. One more of those. Two superconductors. Uraninite. Creature components. And the rest of our superconductors. Okay. Now we do the rest of the Witch's Bracelets. For these, we just need our usual 36, so we can combine them from all 3 types here to save us a little buying, although I'm going to have to buy more anyway. But and then for this, we're going to use our perfect conductors. Except I need one more. Alright, go buy more creature components while I'm at it. I'm gonna need them anyway. More charge. Actually, I think those are in. No, those are part of accelerators. Stop that. Alright, Alright, so we need 36 of these. Total. 5. Go. Probably doing something stupid by not saving while I'm trying to do this. Yeah. Whatever. Live on the wild side, right? Alright, so that'll give us another maxed out witch's bracelet, and then we just repeat that 2 more times. Alright, so there's all the witch's bracelets that we need. And then the next thing we need is create an Imperial armlet. We have 2 maxed out Royal armlets, which we will also need, but we're also going to do the maxing out 1 Imperial armlet that we already have. What do I need for that? I need some more superconductors is what I need. Did that wrong. There we go. We need 15 superconductors for that. Make sure before I press the button. Yep, we're good. Alright, and that just gives us resist damage plus 20%, which means it's lower than our resist magic, but it's but it resists both physical and magic, so it's useful to us. And it's still cheaper to do that than to buy another either witch's bracelet or rune bracelet and upgrade it. So, alright. Now, next thing to do, set up our equipment. So everybody is going to get 2 witches bracelets. Fang's going to get the Imperial armlet, and she's going to get a power glove. Again, 2 witches bracelets, and then each of the other people get 1 royal armlet, and Light gets the growth egg because she has the higher stats of. Well, actually, let me do this first. Because, yeah. You are gonna get royal armlet. Witch's bracelet, witch's bracelet, and you get the weirding glyph to upgrade your magic, and then you get the growth egg that we just gave up. There we go. Alright, so everybody has at least 53% magic and 15% physical, and then Fang's got a little bit higher than that. Because obviously she's the one that. Actually, I don't even have her as a sab in this. The other reason I did that is because now Light and Fang both have Magic Wall 5, and then Saz, because of his weapon, already has Magic Wall 10 and the Weirding Glyph. So they're blocking magic right off the top. So then we just need our paradigms. And we are going to switch Lightning to our main medic, which is why we gave her the growth egg instead of Saz. Entirely positive stats-wise why I do that. I know there's a reason, but there's always a reason. It's just a matter of what it was that I don't remember. Try Disaster we want. Smart Bomb stays the same. And like with the Vitalas, they have a shield that they put up at the beginning of combat. So your main goal is to get them staggered. Switching this. There we go. I think when I wrote this guide, I didn't have Kira for Saz yet. I think that's actually why I was doing that. Although, having a higher magic person casting Kira is a good idea too. Okay, I need to... Okay, I do have that set up right. Alright, good. We want that set up with our Synergist roll as our default, so... Here we go. I hate these things. Alright, we're going to start with Libera while it's casting Inertial Barrier, so don't waste time with physical attacks. And that will also help prioritize Shell for Saz to cast. Because that also gives us right away that it executes powerful magical attacks. So, and then we just wait. Start casting away, try to build the chain gauge a little. The downside is that we're probably going to lose the chain gauge quite a bit in this stage. We need Shell, we need Haste, and we need Vigilance. Are the three buffs that we need on us here. Of course, he's also going to waste time with even with all of our soak properties, we're taking that much damage that quickly. Alright, and then kill us. Maybe this happens. No. And then we let Lightning heal us up. Hopefully fast enough to not have anybody die. I don't really want to have to start the fucking thing all over again. The downside is that even once we stagger it, it's still not, you can't launch it, so it's going to keep casting. And the staggering effect is not, once it uses its multicast, it's going to cast pretty quickly. Alright, so now once we got it staggered, we want to use Smart Bomb for our debuffs to get Deep Protect primarily, while I'm going to cast a Renew so that we don't have to worry about that. Slow. We want slow. That's the other thing we need to get. There we go. And then we do Beat Down Thing. Pain. It doesn't cast physical attack. It doesn't use physical attack. There's no need to use pain on it, but there we go. That's one of the most potentially intense battles of the game, just because of what you're fighting. It's so unpredictable as to what attacks it's going to use when. Because all you get is multicast. It doesn't tell you which spell it's going to cast, and it has access to all of that. Except for death, thankfully. Thankfully there's no death gun in this game, because it would have access to it if it did. Alright, and we are about halfway through Titan's Trials. So I am going to end the episode here. We're going to do part 2 next time. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I wasn't very efficient, which bothers me, but hopefully next time it'll be a little bit more smooth and continuous. I apologize for the inefficiency. So next week we'll finish Titan's Trials. I can actually finally go back and overwrite these old saves now that I've finally done the, I mean, by now you've already seen them, but I had a whole bunch set up before, pre-recorded before this point in time, before the Dahaka battle that we did a few weeks ago. And so I kind of slacked off on recording for a while, and that's why the What If You Don't Like My Way for Dahaka was a little bit late. So now I can finally go back and save over all of the save files from way back then. Still needs to do the Bartandalus one at the time of recording this. By the time you've seen it, it's already going to be up, but I got another week or so to do that, and I much prefer to actually play through the game. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys the next time. Everybody have a great day.